Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm checking out the upcoming release of the Proline NZMF Milford Sound Region Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 add-on scenery by the fantastic team over there at NZA Simulations. And a big shout out to the team for giving me the opportunity to be able to show you through this. Now, this region is set up to create hours and hours of flying and role-play adventure for all types of GA aircraft, covering approximately 100 kilometres from north to south. This add-on immerses you in the stunning Fiordland region. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with this part of the world, Milford Sound is located in the Fiordland area, which is in the southwest of the South Island, New Zealand. And here we are here, North Island up here, South Island down here. If we zoom in, you can see that it's actually not too far away from Queenstown. Now, I highly recommend if you come to New Zealand, this is a stunning part of the country. I can speak from personal experience, and you can check out some amazing areas, starting off in Queenstown. You can actually catch a short plane trip across the Milford Sound, or you can actually drive there also. But that's exactly where it is located. And in terms of the coverage for this particular scenery, you can see here, this is the actual west coast here, so that's been tipped on its axis here, the map. It might be a little bit hard to see, so you might need to go into full screen here, but you've got NZMF Milford Sound right in the middle, but it goes as far left as Quintin Lodge airstrips. A couple of points of interest down in this area, so I highly recommend that you go and check those out. This will be a fantastic scenery for those that do enjoy the rotorcraft, the helicopters. A whole bunch of points of interest for you to go and check out over in the central part here. I won't go through them one by one, I'll let you see them. And then it goes as far north as Hope River, or actually probably Cascade Station. The airstrip is a little bit more north than that, so it does have quite a wide area this particular scenery has covered. Okay, what we'll do today, everybody, is I'll have a look around the main tourist airport here, NZMF Milford Sound. I'll show you some of the features that they've implemented into this scenery, and then I'll show you another one of the other 8 small airstrips that are available. And as I said in the intro, this is a really great place to explore. I don't want to spoil too much, so I'll just really go through some of the main features. Now, something you do need to be aware of is that there's actually a further expansion pack that will be available at release. It's absolutely free, but you do have to have this NZA Simulations Proline package right here to be able to use the expansion. Before we get into it, everybody, there's some very important installation instructions that you need to know when installing this scenery. Because you may remember that in World Update 12, New Zealand was part of that update and received a whole lot of improvements. Now, that update conflicts with some of the airports that are on this particular scenery. So what you need to do is go into your profile, click on your content manager. Then up the top here, just put in something like New Z, and then you want to find 3 airports, 3 specific airports, and remove them. Now, those airports are NZMF, so there goes that one there, so just tick it there by clicking on it. NZMJ, and the final airport is T004, which is Quintin Lodge Airport. Those 3 airports, select those, and then down the right-hand corner, go ahead and press delete. It will only delete those particular airports, and then that will allow the NZA simulation scenery to then be applied. So that's all you need to do. Go ahead, delete those 3, and you are good to go. But here we are at Milford, and it doesn't take very long to appreciate the fact there's a lot of detail, and obviously just in the runway textures, etc., which is the usual high standard that you would expect from the team over there in NZA Simulations. But there's also a ton of other stuff that they've done. One thing you'll see is a bunch of wildlife in your travels, animated wildlife, and so we'll probably see some birds flying around here in a minute. And there's a bunch of other animated pieces of scenery that do add life to the whole scenario. So as we move down over here, you might be able to see these mini little rapids right here, and we've got the animated feature of those, and that really does bring life to that water. In fact, they've created the actual biome of this local area just to give you a feel for the environment, and they've got a custom mask on the water, and so like when I pan out here, you can see that it looks exceptionally lifelike, which is a really tremendous effort by the team. One other thing they've done is done a bit of work in terms of the detail on the rock faces and that sort of stuff. So as you trip around, you'll see they'll as you get in close there, the detail will be quite sharp. Well, detail is the name of the game. As we sit over here at the ferry terminal, you can see the lights here, the navigation lights for the ships coming in and out of the harbour. And just over the back here, we do see one of the 76 animated watercraft that you might experience on the map. And you can see it here. It's probably got a bunch of tourists that have gone out and checked out some of the local attractions. So that's pretty cool. What we're also seeing over here is an example of some of the waterfalls, and I would highly recommend, if you look down at the southern end of this scenery, you'll see one of the most stunning waterfalls in this part of the world. In fact, boats can go right in and put their nose underneath the waterfall. I won't spoil that one for you. As we trip down there, you can actually see the looks like some seagulls or something similar there flying around. But let's go and check out the ferry terminal. One thing they have done is created some pretty accurate detail in the buildings. One thing that made me laugh a little bit, we'll just jump over here, is the little super shuttle minivans right here. That's exactly what you see in any airport around New Zealand. Let's just pop inside though and just give you a bit of a feel for some of the detail. One thing I would say is the performance is really good. I'm not seeing very much stuttering or tearing or anything like that whatsoever. It really does look good, but if you look inside the terminal here, you're really getting a feel for what it does look like. They've got all the sort of guide posters, the different little businesses and tourist operators, Juicy, which is a rental car, that sort of stuff. We've got some Ponamu over here, which is greenstone. That is a massive chunk of greenstone right there, by the way. Whew! But as you look around, you can see, the detail is, they've done really a great job on the detail, and it's nice and sharp. Sometimes when you get in front of inside these buildings, the quality of the images does reduce a bit, but no such problem here. One thing I just noticed, look at the rusting there on the ferry terminal. Pretty cool. There's a Juicy ferry there. What you do notice is throughout the day, you'll see these ferries come in and out of the harbour, which is really cool. Something I'd recommend checking out is the Big Bay Beach Strip, or NZQU. Here it is right here, right along the beach. So you can fly in here, land on the sand, something a bit different. We've got a static aircraft over there, a Cessna 172. But you can land right here on the beachfront, do a bit of exploring. It's got windsocks in there and everything. There's a couple of huts around here too, and you will see huts scattered around the map. You can see the smokestacks right there. And there's a ton of them to actually explore and find. But this is a cool little challenge right here. Get in your favourite aircraft. I know some of you will probably grab a 747 and try to land in here. But being able to land on right on the beach here, cool little touch. What do you think? So there's a bit of a sneak peek of Milford Sound NZMF. Now this is the add-on scenery, the Proline scenery from NZA Simulations. It's coming out on the 13th. And there's a heap more that I haven't showed you. I'll leave it up to you to go and pick this up. You know it's going to be good quality from the team at NZA Simulations. They've done another fantastic job. It's a beautiful part of New Zealand, and it's going to provide some challenging but spectacular flying conditions for you. So I highly recommend getting into it. And I'll put a link down in the description so you can go and check it out and pick it up if you like. But thank you very much for watching. Make sure you go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, everybody, take it easy.